Welcome to A Fan's Perspective, episode 37. That's where we at right now. All right, how y'all doing, people? Uh, I gotta go over some things, man. I was watching that 21 Savage and Big Bank interview. I want to zone in on some key moments that I seen in that interview. And also the game interview. Game did an interview with Shannon Sharp, Club Shay. Shout outs to them. Shout outs to 21. Shout outs to Big Bank. I remember Big Bank from the duct tape entertainment days. You feel me? Like, you know, Bank really one of the ones, man. And I'm glad to see him making his way in this podcast world, man, making that transition. But he already transitioned into the podcast world. Bank is a podcaster now. You feel me? But he one of them guys in Atlanta, man. So I like when dudes sit down with him and have that conversation. Street rappers, you know what I mean? Because he can sort out the BS from the non BS. You dig? All right, so let's get into this joint, man. See what 21 talking about, man. You know what I mean? uh, Loud. All right, so these some of the key moments that I had in this interview. Let's see.
Before Gunny even got locked up, he was calling me, and I would like when they put the shit out, like they was looking for him, and I told him like, bro, don't keep running, cause that's gonna fuck up your chances of getting a bond even more. The longer you got down, I'm like, go ahead and turn yourself in and shit. So got down, I told him like, shit, see if you can get a plea back, like, cause I'm telling you, it's gonna make you look a certain type of way, like to the public, like it's gonna stain you. I believe you that you didn't know what you was doing, but I can't really say that you didn't, cause you grown. But if that's what you going with, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that after the relationship that we do got. I'll let you say that to me and I'll take that for what it is. All right, maybe he really didn't know type shit. But at the end of the day, how I look at the situation, I'm like, man, Slime should have never been saying certain shit. Like he should have never broadcasted the shit to the behind club. Like silence speak louder than anything sometimes. So just Slime getting out and them seeing like ain't nobody fucking with Gunna, they would know. Before Gunna even got locked up,
I'm just showing you like some of the highlights from the interview. So yeah, that was 21 on Gunna. Now, I'm gonna say this, right? With Gunna knew exactly what he was doing. This is real talk. Gunna knew exactly what he was doing. You know what I mean? They asked him, "Is YSL a game?" You stamped it that YSL was a game. The whole point of them trying to prove that YSL wasn't a game is because of the RICO. If you can prove that it's a record label as opposed to a street gang, then you have a better chance of fighting your case. You understand what I'm saying? But the fact that you stamped it as a street gang, that's ratting, bro. Let's keep it a buck, man. Gunna knew exactly what he was doing. Gunna didn't want to go to jail. See, a lot of people say that he didn't know what he was doing, but it was like, fam, you was repping Crip before the whole, like when you got into the rap thing, you was repping Crip, right? So that come with rules, right? And no snitching is one of them. So if you're around Young Thug and he living a certain type of life and you don't want to really be wrapped up in that, you just tell him like, yo, bro, I'm here to do music, but I don't want to be wrapped up with what you got going on outside of music. You understand what I'm saying? I just want to just be the artist. And he has no choice but to respect that. But to be around all of the stuff, to be around Thug, to be around the goons, to be around everything, and then when shit go left, when it's beneficial, it's cool. When it make it raise your status as a rapper, make you look more official and all of that, right? But when shit goes left, then it's like, oh man, you know, now you don't want to now you don't want to take any consequence. That stuff come with a price, man. Understand that. You feel me? So Gunna knew exactly what he was doing. There's no way to sugarcoat that. You know what I mean? Now, do I hate the man because he did that? Absolutely not. That's he has to look in the mirror and deal with that truth, on a day-to-day basis. You feel what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. You feel me? But we can't dance around that. He did what he did. It is what it is. Shawty ain't no good. Simple. All right, let me get into some other things, some other highlights of this joint. Let's see. Okay. Now, the shit with first I'm gonna play you this one clip because I gotta go back on something that 21 Savage said, man. Like, get this out of here, man. Come on, stop the stupidness, man. Let's see. Okay. Great. All right, so
I said, you finna go into a battle that you can't win. Like, there's no way you can win.
What you mean?
When you, no matter what, bro, certain situations, even if you win, you still don't win. Like, the what he would have got if people would have quote unquote say he won, because I don't really look at like who won or who lost. If nigga, I'm still being screened the most, like, so. But people say like, oh, Kendrick won. Kendrick a good ass rapper though. You get what I'm saying? And some of his songs was hard.
Yeah.
But goddamn, Drake, I like Drake songs too.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But I feel like the only difference is when you're at the top, when you the number one nigga, where does winning put you?
Yeah.
You can't go like number 1.1. So how the fuck could you win anyway? That's what I told him.
all right. Now I'm gonna say this, right? When it come to the Drake and Kendrick joint, right? Drake and Kendrick beat Savage. If you and Drake is mans, right? Y'all peoples, right? Y'all mess with each other, right? You do songs together, you do the whole album together, right? Tell your man the truth. Don't try to sugarcoat it to make him feel good. Tell your man the truth. Kendrick put out a pair of shoes out there, right? It wasn't directed at anybody. But if you felt like he was talking about you, then he was. Drake bit the bait. J. Cole bit the bait, but he tapped out. You understand? Drake went all the way with Kendrick. You lost. You had some good joints. Don't get it twisted. Like you know what I mean? Kendrick had some good joints. You had some good joints. But you tapped out. You lost. Right? Then you go and you try to sue the record labels, you know, that come on, man. Come on, bro. Like, what are we talking about here, man? Drake was a sore loser in that situation, bro. Let's keep it a buck. Call it how it is. When you at the top, when you number one, you have to defend that against the challenges. Because people coming for your spot, bro. What you mean he don't benefit by beating Kendrick in a battle? You know what that would have did to Drake's career? He was already on top, but that would have solidified him as an MC, bro. That would have solidified him as an MC if he would have got past Kendrick. You know what I mean? Just the fact that he participated, I respect it. Right? Win, lose, or draw. But the approach that he took after the beef was supposedly over with, you wanted to, well, you know, however, it died down, right? The approach that you took after, that wasn't hip hop, bro. Ain't nobody in the history ever sued nobody after a rap battle, bro. Let's keep it a buck, man. So if Drake is your man, you got to tell your man the truth. Don't lie to him just to make him feel good because that's like you having a friend that's overweight and you lying to them. You know what I mean? When they telling you like you think I'm overweight, you like nah, you're not overweight. Nah, tell them like nah, you could lose a couple pounds, but just have some tact with it. It's coming from love. It's coming out of, you know what I'm saying? It's coming from love. If I tell you something to just make you feel good and it's not the truth, that ain't gonna benefit you, fam, at all. You understand? So that's how I feel about that situation, man. Now there was another key point. There's one or two more key points I want to focus on in that joint. You feel me? Okay. Let's see something.
Like some niggas look at saying a dead nigga did some shit is telling. I don't look at that like telling. If I go on the moon with my man and my man don't make it, boy, everything in his car, everything we just did, he did it.
You still told on the dead.
I don't give a fuck. Like some.
Now telling on the dead man. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, that's a tricky one right there because I mean, the man dead. What you gonna do? Dig him up and put him in jail? You know, I think it's a difference between being gangster and being stupid. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with 21 on that one. Just in case you're wondering. You know what I'm saying? Can't do nothing to the dead, man. You feel me? You know, you can't do nothing to the dead. As long as you was willing to do your time, you know, the man dead and you put it on them. Yeah, I got homies that told me, like, yo, anything go down, woo, you put it on me. And I would tell them this, I told them the same thing, put it on me. That's not gonna affect me. You know what I'm saying? So I totally agree with 21 on that joint. You feel me? But the main one I was focused on was him trying to squash a beef with Lil Durk and Young Boy. I want to pull up this clip. And now, let me see. Pull that up. All right, boom.
Have you ever tried to put some shit together that just wouldn't work? Like,
YB and Dirt. But Dirt locked up. So goddamn, he can't really talk. But I done had conversations with YB and I done had conversations with Dirt people.
yeah.
Type shit. But it ain't work. But goddamn, I didn't try it. You feel what I'm saying?
Have you ever tried to put some shit?
All right. I gotta go back on that one, man. I gotta go back in time on that one. I gotta bring back a throwback. Because you said something before. And there we go.
Keep your bitch ass over there. We ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. Personally, I ain't gonna lie. I'ma down there treat you like you one of them. But I wouldn't be mad at no nigga if a nigga said fuck me because of that. That's like, I'm realistic. Like, I'ma stand on whatever. That's why I say you damn near gotta pick a side. I picked my side. See what I'm saying? Keep.
All right. So as you see, 21 picked his side. He picked his side when it came to the Young Boy and Drake beef, right? I mean, not Young Boy and Lil Durk beef. He picked his side, right? So you can't come over to me trying to squash no beef, fam. If you already picked his side, you with them guys. Stay over there. But you can't come to me trying to squash no beef. I ain't trying to hear it. And matter of fact, you one of them. So you could be looked at as an enemy. You understand what I'm saying? Like, ain't no playing on both sides with that. You feel me? And you can't squash everybody beef. You can't squash everybody beef. The beef with uh 21 and Metro. No, not 21 Metro. Metro and Drake. Because that's originally kind of where it started at. It was Metro and Future and Kendrick. You know, they all had like issues with Drake or whatever. But you can't squash everybody beef. And you saying pick a side, okay. You can't situation, bro. You can't. I understand you trying to be a peacemaker. I respect it. But some situations it ain't for you to fix, bro. They gotta work themselves out, however way it go. You understand? Like this is real talk. You know what I mean? So, you know, you can't be the peacemaker when it comes to everybody's joint. But overall, it was a great interview. You know what I mean? I just think that 21 wasn't standing solid on certain things. You know what I mean? Like, even when it comes to like when he asked Big Bank, um, you know, if you go inside of a interrogation room and talk, I mean, man, if you a street dude and you really living a life for real, you go inside the interrogation room, you ain't supposed to say nothing. It ain't supposed to be no interrogation room. You're supposed to just go straight to jail. You know what I mean? It's keeping it real. You know. Now the example that he gave, I don't know. It was kind of weird to me. His response was kind of weird. Hold on, let me see something. Pull that joint up real fast. All right.
You was talking too much trying to help a nigga, but you wasn't trying to hurt a nigga, man.
I feel what you
Snitching is trying to hurt a nigga.
No, you
Snitching is trying to get another nigga
Man,
fucked.
no, I shouldn't be
Listen,
starting
man.
talking about this shit, man. Go ahead.
Snitching is trying to get another nigga fucked up so you can be unfucked up. That's what snitching is, bro.
I understand that, but let me.
You was talking too much trying to help a nigga, but you wasn't trying to hurt a nigga, man.
I feel what you
Snitching is trying to hurt a nigga.
No, you
Snitching is trying to get another nigga fucked.
It don't matter whether you trying to help or hurt him, man. If you in there running your mouth, you tell him, bro. It don't matter if you trying to help or hurt him. Going in there writing fake statements, going in there saying that somebody was somewhere where they wasn't, you know, that can hurt that person. Because you speaking on that person, but that person ain't speaking for themselves. You ain't supposed to be really speaking on nobody, bro. Just keeping it a buck, man. You ain't supposed to be speaking on nobody, man. You know, if this is the life you say you're living. You understand what I'm saying? Because every group, whether they in the streets or not, every lane, in every lane, there's gonna be people that have a sense of loyalty to people that they mess with. I don't care if you're in the streets, I don't care if you're in business, you know, it applies all across the board. You know what I mean? But particularly in the streets, if you're going in there and you speaking, man, that ain't no good, man. Point blank, period. You know. But overall, it was a great interview. It was a great interview. And you know, I'm gonna listen to that new 21 album. You know what I mean? I'm gonna see what he talking about on that new joint because 21 been coming with some good music, man. Real talk. 21 been coming with some good music, man. And you know, I'm gonna see what it's hitting for. Now, the next topic is the game. He went on Shannon Sharp, did an interview with Shannon Sharp. So, you know, play a little clip here and there, see what they talking about. Yeah.
Department of Corrections isn't just a job, it's a commitment to public safety, justice, and rehabilitation.
Did the beef get so bad that you and 50 get into a shootout?
50 wasn't there, but
Fair use.
we got into a shootout with like his armed security in New York. And they were like coming out the back door. I think 50 was getting in the car or something, and then the security came around the front, and then, you know.
What happened?
Happened a little, yeah, we had a little back and forth with firearms.
How you gonna, hold on, look, I understand y'all wasn't
I was
best friends, but come
24,
on,
man,
gang.
24 years old.
No, Gabe, you used that when you was 14. You can't use that now at 24 now. You grown ass man. You got a kid and everything.
Yeah, I was in it, man, but like I was telling you before, it takes you a lot of time to undo things that are second nature, man. Like, you know, being from the streets. It take a lot of time.
But y'all was doing a press conference.
Yeah, they paid me to do that.
I know.
Yeah.
How you get paid and then you go and then you start the bucket?
The money didn't change how I felt when I landed back in California, man. So I know, man, I got this early entry bipolar shit going sometimes, man.
Okay.
And but I think I tell people all the time, I think that in some form or nature that we're all kind of bipolar, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we feel one way and then we feel another way.
Right.
And so I think that damn near everybody's bipolar, depending on
Hold up. We pause on that one, right? Game is a phenomenal rapper. Let's be clear. Game is a phenomenal rapper, but I think the problem is Game is unpredictable. You don't know what he gonna do or when he gonna do it. And I think a lot of people don't trust that. You don't know what side he gonna pick when it comes down to it. Like I thought with the whole Kendrick situation, I thought he would have been siding with the West. You from the West Coast. Now, granted, you got a relationship with Drake, but this is home team, though. This is people you got to see every day. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, people could see that you was trying to side with Drake on that one, bro. Because you went at Rick Ross. You know what I mean? Because Rick Ross is going at Drake. So you're defending Drake. So when the pop-out show happened, they didn't want you around. The energy was not inviting. You understand what I'm saying? Like you know, that's the thing with Game is he's unpredictable, and I think that's why he don't get his just due because he's a phenomenal rapper. But I think that's why people kind of stay away from Game, though. You know what I mean?
You're the same all the time.
No. And so it is what it is. And so that's what, I did a lot with explaining, my friendship with Ye. I'm like, he have his days, but we all do.
Right.
And what we got to stop doing as people is judging people when you know damn well when you look in the mirror, you do not see perfection. But we all got something to say about somebody. Like we don't get
We
home
don't have our own
and
separate
feel like,
issues.
yeah, exactly.
Is it true that Michael Jackson tried to end the beef with you?
Jackson music, it wasn't like beat it or nothing.
Right.
But then he said, and then you know what you guys did?
You was your own thing, doing your thing, and then I think 50 was with Dre, brought to Dre by M.
Yeah.
And then how did you and 50 and that all come? Y'all became G Unit.
Jimmy Iovine didn't really know what to do with me. I had a buzz in the streets, but ultimately he felt like if he put me in G Unit, then they would have Young Buck from the South, Yayo Banks and 50 from New York, and then me from the West.
Unit. Would the game been able to go solo?
Live G Unit, stint, but I think I'd have been great regardless.
How did you and 50 mesh so well in the beginning?
It's one of those things where you put two people together and they're just talented, man. It's like, I don't know, man. It's kind of like Elway.
I ain't gonna front. 50 and Game was a deadly combination, bro. They was a deadly combination, man. You know what I mean? Because Game could really, really rap. And I think that I would have loved to see where that would have went. You know what I mean? I would have loved to see where that would have went, man, because it was a lot of good music coming out of that camp, especially when Game got on. It was good music before, even with the regular G Unit, Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo. But when they added Game and Young Buck, oh man, but Game was like one of them ones, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
like I remember I watched and I would just be like, man, these dudes, got chemistry,
Yeah.
man. It would just, it was like Favre and Sterling.
Yeah.
Same thing, man. Like,
Yeah. About that?
You know what, man? 50 don't really talk about much but money.
And so bad.
One day,
how did something start so well and so bad?
one day I went to, I think Hot 97, talked to Phone Flex or something, and they asked me, they were like, 50 got beef with Jadakiss and Fat Joe and Nas, and I was like, whoa, I ain't signed up to beef with guys that I idolized.
Right.
I had looked up to the Locks and Kiss. They were rapping before me. I used them as, guides to like get me to where I was. So yeah, so I came up on listening to Jadakiss and Fat Joe Digging in the Crates and the Digging in the Crates crew, and then Nas, man, that was like my top 3 rappers ever. And like I said, 50 don't talk about nothing but money. So nobody never told me that the group was beefing with Nas and Fat Joe and Jadakiss, so I wasn't privy to it. So I was like, yeah, that don't really got nothing to do with me. And to be perfectly honest, me and 50, we were in the group, but I wasn't in it for that long, and we weren't friends.
Right.
They just threw me in the group, and I appreciated the alley-oop, but we weren't homies. So a lot of people get it misconstrued. They think that like we were best friends or something, and I betrayed this friendship or something like that. But what I did was stay loyal to, my the people that like I listened to coming up.
Right.
Like,
All right, hold up, bro. Hold up. You tripping. Hold up, man. Pause on that right there, man. First of all, if you sign with a record label, you did the partnership with Gene. You with the unit now. You with the unit now. Let's not beat around the bush and say we wasn't friends and all. That's BS, man. Y'all was cool, bro. You signed with the unit, bro. If you sign with the unit, whoever 50 beefing with, you beefing with. You know what I mean? Point blank, period. You can't say, oh well, I grew up listening to how you loyal to dudes that's not feeding you, bro. Them dudes ain't feeding you. They ain't writing no hits for you. So how you loyal to them? That don't make no sense. You understand me? That don't make no sense, bro. How you loyal to them and they not feeding you, bro? Granted, you could be a fan of them all day. I'm not saying that you got to stop being a fan of them. because of the whole situation, 50 beefing with them or whatever. You can still be a fan of them in your heart. But right now, I'm with this team and my man got an issue with you, or my man ain't messing with you, I ain't messing with you. Point blank, period, dog. Because if you look at it, right, 50, every single person that he was talking about that they had, that that he said he grew up listening to, they cool with 50 now, and they don't mess with you. How that happen? You know why? Because on the flip side, if you go against the person that's feeding you, I can't trust you. You know what I mean? I can't trust you if you go against the person that's feeding you. If I can get you to be loyal to me and I never did nothing for you, like personally, and I can get you to go against your mans that's feeding you, that's writing the rhyme. He ain't write game rhymes, but 50 wrote them songs. He wrote them hooks, bro. Let's keep it a buck. Y'all had a nice little partnership right there, man. It was going great. If you can get somebody, if I can get you to go against the person that you're benefiting from, that you getting money with, I can't trust you. Yeah, it might be beneficial for me in the moment, but going on down the line, I can't trust you. I'ma trust you. So I ain't understand that. And then to add to it, you ended up linking up with one of 50 real enemies, Jimmy Henchman. Now, I don't know whether you knew or didn't know, you know what I mean? But at some point, I know you knew that son didn't mess with Fifth, bro. That's like Tupac when Tupac got with Suge Knight. Suge Knight already didn't like Bad Boy because of the whole situation that transpired in the past or whatever the case may be. Somebody ended up losing their life. So when Pac had an issue with Bad Boy in him, he got with Suge. And Suge just fueled everything, you know what I mean? And that's the same thing. That's the same position that Jimmy took in that situation. You know what I mean? And I think, and when you look back, like if I'm Fifth and I'm looking at the situation, I'm like, damn. So it's one thing that you don't agree with some of the people that I'm beefing with, and you decide to separate yourself because you don't really want to be beefing with some of the legends that you grew up on. All right, that's your take. You can separate yourself, you could leave, right? But for you to turn around now and link up with a real enemy of mine, that's you taking it to another level, bro. And where's this coming from? Where's this coming from? So when they asked 50 on an interview, would he squash the beef with Game? He said he wouldn't. You know why? Because he was like, yo, I don't know where it came from. How you go from not agreeing with me beefing with certain cats or whatever, and you separating yourself to you linking up with my real enemy in the street and coming at me on some real street shit? That's crazy. Come on, man. That's wild. So that's never gonna be, that's always gonna be what it is, man. 50 ain't never letting that go, bro. You know what I mean? I don't think no street dude would let that go either. Straight up. Let's get back to it.
Can't beef with Nas because you beef with. I don't have a problem with Nas,
Right.
And I didn't even know you had a problem with Nas till today. So on the fly, I just said what I said. I was like, I'm not beefing with Nas and them.
And they got back, then they felt you were being disloyal.
Right, because 50 felt like he gave me a shot, which ultimately, being a part of G Unit did help escalate, my career in the early stages. But I would have got there regardless.
Right.
I feel like,
Right. Were you making good money at G Unit?
Yeah, we was making money, but 50 was making more than everybody.
What that?
Listen, man, I'm not here to say whether a person would have been successful or not without 50. But I heard Game's first album, the one he did with what's homie from the West Coast, man? Phil, damn, JT the Bigger Figure, right? That album did not sound like the documentary, bro. Let's keep it a buck, man. You needed them hits, bro. You needed song structure, bro. that album did not sound like the documentary 1 or 2. And I know you learned the thing or two from 50 as well, bro. Just being around all that talent, bro. Let's keep it a buck, bro. Let's keep it all the way official, man. Get back to it.
Yeah.
What's the issue with 50? So you feel all y'all should have been on level playing field. If it's $1 million, you get 250, Buck get 250, 50 get 250.
Yeah. Nah, man, I think that I think it was just one of those things where he made more money and he should have made more money. I was just saying, speaking for myself, saying that we was, getting scraps.
What scraps? 150,000 a show ain't no scraps, gang.
Nah, man, it wasn't 150,000.
Okay, 100,000.
Probably about 75, 100.
Yeah. How many shows y'all doing a show?
100,000 a show with scraps? Come on, man. Let me ask you a question. Can you book a show right now for 100,000, 150,000, or set your price 200 grand? Can you book a show for that right now? Let's keep it a buck, bro.
2 shows a week?
Yeah, man. And I wasn't there for them all. Again, so I always felt like I was a solo artist. The whole situation anyway. I didn't like being, I didn't want to be in New Edition. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, so you Bobby Brown, you broke off.
Man, I'm Johnny Gill.
But Bobby broke off because they kicked him out the group. He ain't want to leave.
That's what I'm doing. Well, me, it was different, man. I always felt like,
yo, that's why that beef would never end. And this is why people don't trust Game. You know, like I said, lyrically, man, he's phenomenal, man. But people don't, it's like you're mad unpredictable, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing with you separate. I'm like, damn, how you gonna get that bag up just because they not feeding you? Did Nas put in a bid to sign you? Did Jadakiss put in a bid to sign you? Did Fat Joe put in a bid to sign you? None of them did. And the crazy thing is, they don't even mess with you. That's wild, man. But anyway, that's my time today, fellas, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? 3 albums I gotta go check out. I'm gonna put y'all up on some new joints, man. Y'all probably already up on it, but this is 3 that I'm gonna check out over the course of the weekend, and I'm gonna get my takes on it. 1 second. Nas and DJ Premier. It's a classic album right there, man. Nas and DJ Premier. You got that going on. So I'm definitely gonna check that out. 21 Savage got a new one. Let's see, what's 21 Savage new album dropping? What Happened to the Streets. So I'm gonna check that out. And I gotta check out my boy Conway, man. Conway the Machine. He got a new joint out. You know, he never seems to disappoint me, man. Never. Let's see what is his new album? You Can't Kill God with Bullets. So that just dropped. So those are the 3 albums I'm gonna be checking out. I'm gonna let y'all know what I think about it. You know, I'm a hip hop head, so I definitely got to tap in when the real lyricists, get in the building. I definitely got to tap in with that and see what's going on with those albums. You know what I mean? But other than that, man, 21 Savage and Game, they did great interviews. Like I said, shout outs to all parties involved. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, that's my time, people. Catch me from a fan's perspective, and I'm out.